Hello and welcome to another Doctor's Assistant 1 video. Today I'm doing a video on a DVD collection update video. I honestly can't remember the last time I did a DVD collection update video. I think it was quite a few months ago, like 5-6 months ago, maybe a bit longer and that, so hopefully this is a video that's somewhat justified and that, but yeah, these are all the DVDs and films and TV series and stuff that I watch other than Doctor Who that I have in my own personal collection of DVDs and films and stuff. We have other DVDs and films downstairs in his living room, as well as stuff next door in my mum and dad's room, and all over the place we have DVDs and films coming out of the ears, as it were. So yeah, I mean, first of all, you'll have seen this in my Blu-ray collection update video, but I've got all three seasons of Rick and Morty on Blu-ray, which is awesome. So yeah, they're up there. And that, it is kind of irritating that the third one isn't blue, but that's just because I'm weird like that. But yeah, would have been nice if it was also blue. But yeah, yeah. Might do individual reviews of those at some point, like reviews of each season individually one day. I know, I think it was my cousin Jacob, he commented on one of my videos saying that he would want me to review them. It's just getting around to it, that's all. Underneath that, you've got Big Trouble in Little China. Really, really good, fucking amazing film. Really very confusing, and that, but it is funny as. Underneath that, you've got Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, which is another brilliant, phenomenal film. Kick-Ass 1 and 2, I really like both of them for different reasons, and that. Then you've got Anchorman 1 and 2 again. I haven't seen 2 in ages. I watch 1 a lot more than 2, but I don't know if that's because I prefer 1 over 2, but I liked both. And it's funny, when I watched the first one, it was like a year or two later that then the sequel came out, which is insane and kind of weird. Then you've got Community season 1 through 6, hashtag 6 seasons in a movie. I watched some of season 3 earlier today, in fact, which is kind of weird. I would love to do a marathon of the series and then review like each season individually, and that, granted, I'd love to do that with new series of Doctor Who as well. So, you know, it's just, again, finding the time when I'm not watching and listening to and reading even Doctor Who related stuff, and that. And then at the side of that, you've got the complete book 1, 2 and 3 of Avatar: The Last Airbender, which aired way back when on Nickelodeon, back in the day when Nickelodeon was really good, and that. Yeah, I love Avatar: The Last Airbender, really good series. I may have reviewed the box sets years ago. You can tell how old book 1 is. It's falling at the seams, basically, which is such a shame. And I want to say they're in my region, which is region 1, I think. UK is region 1, right? I mean, comment below if you know the answer to that. And then you've got book 1 and 2 of Legend of Korra, which I know most people don't like, in contrast to Avatar: The Last Airbender, but I still think it's decent. And that, you know, I think the transition of a male character to female in animation, I don't know why, but I accepted that a lot easier than, say, in Doctor Who, and that. I don't know, I think because with the animation world you can just do more crazier things that are kind of just bizarre. I know Doctor Who does bizarre things all the time, but still, you kind of, I don't know if you understand what I mean, but yeah, I can suspend my disbelief more in animation because, you know, the laws of and the boundaries of animation and of the fictional worlds they create are different to that of the physical, you know, world, and that, you know, but yeah, what was I going to say? Yeah, I enjoy both book 1 and book 2. I kind of like book 1 a bit more in so much as it's more of a sort of watered down, sort of fresh reboot almost of like what came before it. while still paying a bit of homage to what had gone before it, as well as pushing the series and the whole franchise in a new direction. Legend of Korra Book 2 Spirits is very much feels like to compare it to Doctor Who, the sort of more Stephen Moffat, Peter Capaldi-esque series where it's very much sort of steeped in a lot of like more sort of referential and sort of mythology and lore, and you need to really be into the series to get what's going on, I guess, and that, and be invested and involved. And that I did want to buy the complete Korra box set thing, but I can never seem to find it, or if it is on Amazon, it's like 40-50 quid for whatever reason, even though it might come with like 3 or 4 series, even though I still think that's quite steep for what it is. Moving on, you've got Sam Raimi's Spider-Man and Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2. Really good films. I like them both. I haven't watched either of them in years, though. I can't really say much more than that I enjoy both of them, and that they were really good superhero films that really succeeded in what they were trying to do. Robot Chicken Star Wars Limited Edition 1 and 2, really, really fucking funny parodies. Up there with Spaceballs and that as some of the funniest Star Wars parodies, and that, in my opinion. Love all 3 of these Star Wars related parodies. Brilliant. Recommend it for anyone who's a massive fan of humour and comedy and likes Star Wars, which is probably like 1% of the Star Wars community. Star Wars: The Clone Wars, the pilot, like for the TV show, like, and that was really cool. TV pilot for, as I said, the Clone Wars, what would later be the Clone Wars in the TV show. Then you've got Star Wars, the prequels, and I rewatched all 3 of those fairly recently-ish. They're all, okay, Attack of the Clones I really don't like, but Phantom Menace isn't that bad, and Revenge of the Sith I really like as well, and then between the prequels and the original trilogy, I've got Star Wars Rebels Season 1, because it's obviously set after Order 66 and the fall of the Clone Wars and that, but it's obviously before A New Hope, as is Rogue One. Rogue One is sort of directly before A New Hope, and even leads into A New Hope, really. And A New Hope I watched like Tuesday, and it's Sunday this recording, so yeah, just a few days back. And that, so I've still got obviously Empire and Return of the Jedi to watch, and that of this trilogy. I like A New Hope. It's not one of my favourite Star Wars films, but of the original trilogy I like Empire the most. Of the prequels I like Revenge, and that, but yeah, the original trilogy. Then I got Force Awakens, Star Wars Force Awakens, which is really good. Really enjoy that. It's very much just Star Wars being Star Wars. It's the most sort of probably safe and box standard Star Wars, I guess. But then considering the gap between Revenge of the Sith, which was done in like 2005, I think, if you can believe it, and then Force Awakens came out in what, like 2015, 16-ish, well, not, it can't have been 2016, but it came out, like, there's almost like a 10-15 year gap, and yet people bash on Force Awakens for just being a New Hope, basically. And then the irony to that is that then when they try and do Star Wars The Last Jedi and make it very different, everyone complains that it's not the same thing that they wanted, and it's not just normal Star Wars and A New Hope, and that, the saying is so true that the only people who hate Star Wars no one hates Star Wars more than Star Wars fans, basically, and that you just can't please them, really. Tron, the original Tron, and that, I got rid of Tron Legacy for whatever reason. I kind of want to get that back in my collection, but the 20th anniversary one, collector's edition, which is just mad. One of the, if not first, earliest films back in the 1980s to use sort of computer generated graphics in a big blockbuster film that must have cost a shit ton of money, but yeah, it's awesome from what I remember. I haven't watched it in absolutely ages and years, and that, but RoboCop, the trilogy, love the first two films. I actually quite like all three of them, I'm not gonna lie. They're all just really fucking funny and stupid and cheesy now, but they were probably really good for what they were when they originally came out. And I watched them when I was about, like, 13, 12, 13, or 13, 14. I was definitely not 18 and not old enough to be watching them, but fuck it. Back to the Future, the 30th anniversary trilogy, Blu-ray, which I got for like $10.99, if you can believe it, on at HMV. Firefly, the complete first season. I haven't got Serenity, but yeah, I've got the first and only season, R.I.P. Firefly, of that, and it's fucking amazing. It's even more so than Star Wars, a sci-fi western. I really love it. I love the cast and the crew and all the people, the characters. They're so rich, and I think that's what Series 11 of Doctor Who was trying to go for, like this sort of Firefly-esque sort of series, but it just didn't quite work out, unfortunately, which is a shame. But if they could ever reach where Firefly is with an ensemble cast, then I can imagine Jodie Whittaker's Doctor Who would be fucking amazing. Alien Quadrilogy, I've only seen Alien and Aliens, so I haven't seen the other ones, but of the two that I have seen, they're fucking amazing. Torchwood, Series 1, 2, Children of Miracle Day. I don't actually mind Miracle Day. It's not Children of Earth or Series 2, but it's kind of better than Series 1. I'd say it goes Series 1, then Miracle Day, then 2, then Children of Earth for me. Or maybe Children of Earth and then 2. I don't know. But either way, Torchwood, really good spin-off. Better than, obviously, Class, surprisingly enough. IT Crowd, the Ultimate Box Set, fucking amazing. Love IT Crowd. One of the best TV shows, the TV comedy shows ever. Marvel movies, you've got Iron Man, the first one, Iron Man 3, which I don't mind. Avengers Assemble, it's really good, really unique, when it originally came out, obviously. And that Avengers Age of Ultron, I don't mind it. It's actually, I actually don't mind it. I know Joss Whedon left at that point, or after this one. Avengers Infinity War, I've only seen it once, Infinity War, obviously when it originally came out at the cinema, fucking loved it then. I'm hoping to really like it again when I eventually get around to rewatching it on DVD for the first time though. And that I'm planning on watching it potentially with my mum, who hasn't seen a lot of the Marvel films, so that'll be interesting to see if she can actually enjoy the film without the foreknowledge and baggage of the previous films. I mean, I hadn't seen Thor Ragnarok, so I didn't know that this film continued straight on after that, so that was interesting. Guardians of the Galaxy, the original one, it's okay. I honestly like Guardians of the Galaxy 2 a lot more. The humour and the character development. I mean, I guess the soundtrack and the humour is probably better in Guardians 1, because it's the first time we see the Guardians of the Galaxy on screen, so it's probably more unique, more interesting and different, whereas by the second one we have an expectation of what the character's going to do and how they're going to act, and the music as well, and the way that it's going to look and sound and feel. But I think the character development of both Peter Quill and Yondu is way better in the sequel, and I'm so happy that James Gunn, the director, is apparently coming back to finally do the third volume at some point, which is going to be awesome. Spider-Man Homecoming, absolutely love it. One of the best, if not the best, Spider-Man film, in my opinion. I am interested how they're going to top this in Spider-Man Far From Home, I think it is. That looks pretty cool as well, and then Doctor Strange, which I've already done a review of on my channel, an individual, my thoughts on Doctor Strange video. So if you're interested in seeing my in-depth thoughts on that, please do check that video out. X-Men, the complete well, what was the complete box set at the time when I bought it, which was X-Men, X-Men 2, X-Men Last Stand, X-Men Wolverine Origins, which we don't speak of because it's shit, X-Men First Class, which is phenomenal. They're the X-Men films. They exist. I can't really think of anything else to say about them right now. Deadpool, fucking phenomenal. Really love it. Really unique, different. Broke the mold for what would otherwise be a very stale and dull sort of genre at the time when it came out, but very much spiced it up, definitely. The sequel just feels more of the same, but in a good way. I know that sounds bad, but if you've enjoyed like a burger and you then, 4 or 5 weeks later have a burger again, you're still gonna ideally enjoy it, right? Even if they haven't changed much. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, I think is probably the old adage, and they definitely, I think it just, Deadpool feels like one of the standalone like Marvel Cinematic Universe films, and then Deadpool 2 feels more like Avengers Assemble, but in the Deadpool film franchise saga thing, whatever the fuck you want to call it, and I just hope there's a third one, because I'd love the idea of being able to say there's a fucking Deadpool trilogy. Like, that needs to be a thing that I can say, because at this point, why wouldn't there be a third film, other than Ryan Reynolds potentially saying that a third film would be difficult to make, and that, because of, well, I say they're running out of ideas, but then again, he might not have been quoted as saying that, but I don't know. Oh, there's only so many things you can do with Deadpool, I guess, and that. Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, and The Dark Knight Rises, so the Batman trilogy, fucking amazing Batman films, and then Indiana Jones, which I feel like I've seen some of them, but I can't honestly remember a lot about them. Besides that, they're entertaining and fun, from what I do remember of them. But yeah, so that was all of my films and DVDs and whatnot, and quite a few thoughts on said things. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, comment, rate, and subscribe.